Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And welcome to door number 15 of the Hallmark of Greatness Advent. I'm Anthony Burke, and with me as always, Joe Higgins.
Guten Morgen, Herr Anthony.
Oh, God. And Craig Lowe.
Kia ora, Anthony.
That's a drink.
That's what I was going to say.
It is actually a Maori term for greetings, wishing good health.
Also a nice fruity drink.
Indeed, yes.
Oh, can I go back and do umbongo?
That could be tomorrow's.
Ah.
Day number 15, A Night Before Christmas. A medieval knight is transported to the present day, where he falls for a high school science teacher who's lost her belief in love. That's it.
Yep.
That's
this film.
High school science teacher didn't really crop
She had that's how she had all these little girlfriends that keep coming up to her.
Had a little heart-to-heart with that girl who was like, oh, my boyfriend has dumped me.
I guess so.
And she's like, you don't need no man, you're strong. And then at the end of it, she's like, you all need a man because we're weak as women. And I'm like, this has took a turn.
Surprisingly, I enjoyed this.
It was fine. Yeah,
I'm going to put a bold statement out there and say, this is the best one we've done so far.
That is a bold statement.
bluff.
It was
was
enjoyable to
fine.
watch.
I'll tell you for why at the end, but it's unlike anything we've seen so far.
It is. There was no let me
It's a
explain
Christmas
moments.
film.
It's
There was
brilliant.
no let me explain moment.
There was no villain. There was no nothing.
Yeah.
It was just a fish out of water story.
As I said to
Where-
Joe, this looks like whoever wrote it got the bit from Thor where Thor arrives on Earth and is confused by what's going on and smashes glass and wants another drink or what have you, and turned it into a nice long film. It was all right.
I mean, this traveling through time thing has been done many, many times before. The fact that you went to Thor is
Because that's what I've watched.
Yeah.
But
'Cause
no,
no
I
one
like-
travels back in time and bend it like Beckham.
Bend it like King Beckham. I like
Good one.
medieval. I know, it was terrible. I was trying to think of something.
Bending it like Beckham and King Arthur's court.
The oldie Beckham
We're
bending.
still going with this then, okay?
I like medieval knights and swords and stuff films. That ticks a big box of mine. It's got Vanessa Hudgens in it. Ticks a big box of mine.
I
Vanessa
didn't realise it
moving
was
kiss
her,
in.
but she was quite good.
Vanessa Hudgens and her moving tattoo. Yeah. There's no villain.
Nope.
There's no let me explain. It's
Nope.
a genuine sort of nice love story, and it ends happy.
Yeah.
What's not to like? And it kind of does need to be set at Christmas, but it
It
doesn't.
doesn't need to
But
be,
it
but
does.
it felt like it, which
Yeah.
was quite good.
There is the arbitrary, it has to be done before Christmas Day sort of thing.
That was its
But-
one downfall.
But it doesn't matter because it does seem like they have to learn Christmas.
It's fine. It feels like it's being it feels like it's a film for 15-year-old girls.
How
I
dare
Me and Joe are 50-year-old girls.
Correct.
I mean, to be fair, we have had quite a long weekend, Joe, and maybe told of like we needed this.
I just found it
Get over
genuinely
yesterday's.
nice. The bit where they gave that guy a bike and like some gloves, I nearly cried at that bit because even though I've seen this every year since it's been out, it's
2 years.
still
It
Yeah.
commits the fatal flaw of these Netflix film of putting the actual year it came out rather than like present
keeping it
day.
ambiguous. Yeah,
Putting
yeah.
present day. It's like, no, you've already aged yourself like 2 years out now. We're Back to the Future Part 2 in all over the place.
Yeah.
That's the worst one.
So anyway, Sir Cole is off. Who's from 1399 Norwich.
Norwich.
Yeah, it's Sir Cole who on Christmas, a couple of days before Christmas in 1399 has to go out and hunt a kestrel or some
Yep.
shit I didn't understand.
While leaving the set of Winterfell from Game of Thrones.
Yes, yeah. In the
They
forest,
actually
he
are,
meets an old crone who he just refers to as Old Crone,
Yeah.
which I just had bits from Monty Python. Old? I'm 32. I'm not old. And she says, "Oh, you'll never be a knight unless you fulfill
Unless you
your quest." or something."
ambiguous time travel riddle.
Yeah, gives him this glowing medallion. He ends up in Ohio,
So
which is
it's
clearly
not-
Canada,
Definitely Canada.
Yeah.
because people's accents, you can't hide them.
You couldn't hide. When they say the word out, you can't hide that one.
I don't know. Maybe they went out. Where he bumps into Brooke, played by the lovely Vanessa Hudgens. He's in full armor. She thinks he's a guy. He runs, there's the whole, has he got a brain injury? Let the stranger stay in my house while he recovers.
She runs him over, so that's why I think he's got a brain
Yeah.
injury and he's a bit of a lunatic.
They let him stay. She lets him stay with them.
Bizarre.
And then you get these nice sort of bits of him. I liked the Lady Alexa play. I liked that bit. He put it in the freezer, which I thought was funny. It's dumb, but it's the right kind of fun. There is some good bits here, though, that when he goes in and he's talking about the magical, bewildering box of mystery or whatever.
What? It's got a load of Netflix films on it.
It does.
It's a bit bigger than that, Craig. It is bigger than that. We are all linked.
It is. Well, no. The first one they put on is what's it called? I've got it here.
It's like Love on Holiday or something like that. It's the Rob Lowe brunette from Sex and the City one.
Yes, it's the Holiday Calendar is the first one, and the second one is Holiday in the Wild,
That's
which
the one.
bizarrely, in a weird twist of fate, someone who we featured before on here, whose podcast we featured before, Not Before Coffee, their review this week is Holiday in the Wild. So there's some serendipity. That's nice, isn't it? Go listen to that one as well. It's very good.
Don't forget the ornament.
And then when they're putting the Christmas tree ornament, she goes, because I went on and said, that's a very big, familiar looking acorn. And she goes, oh, my parents went to Aldovia. And that must be the national symbol of Aldovia, which, if you remember, is from A Christmas Prince, although we called it Oosterland and lots of other made-up names.
See, we're firmly in the NCU, which is the Netflix Christmas universe.
Is that a thing? Because if it is,
no. I've just made that up.
But yeah, they're both Netflix original films, which then, so they must exist in the same world.
Yes.
Which is nice.
I hope we have a big Avengers-style mashup.
Then we're going to have too many of Vanessa Hudgens, because she's in the Princess Switch ones, isn't she? Where there's about 5 of them in the third film of them.
Yeah.
And they're crossing over with Christmas Prince. So many.
Is he really crossing over?
Yes, I believe so.
The Christmas Prince and Prince appear in the most recent Princess Switch. It's like a nice little cameo.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a whole series of thingies. She learns to love him. He teaches her how to bake bread. And
he's doing. They realise that he's got some kind of quest to fulfil before Christmas Eve.
Well,
and he's doing various good deeds.
Well, they're taking him back to the same Christmas market every day.
We've only got 2 shooting locations, mate. We spent a lot of time building this Christmas castle for this and 7 other films we're filming.
I told you, it's the Winterfell set. If you look at it closely.
No, when they're in Ohio.
Oh, when they're in Ohio, all right then.
Ohio in quotation marks.
Yeah.
So yeah, he does all these things to try and fulfill his nightly quest.
Which doesn't end up sending back.
Yeah, because then he'll go back and he'll become a knight. He has to get back
for his brother's knighting.
Sundown on Christmas Eve for his brother's knighting ceremony.
Yeah, it needs pointing out he is actually a knight. There is no reason for him to learn to become a knight. He is already a knight. He needs to get back for his brother's knighting ceremony.
He's knight by name. He's not necessarily a knight by...
He has not fulfilled his quest to the king. He does make this... It's all there.
It's all there.
All the plot is there.
Must have been lost in subtext for me there.
He bakes some... They're doing like a charity ball thing for some daft kids or something. I don't know. A lot of people in this town are very charitable, which I thought was nice as well. He does all this stuff. One of the children, 2 of the children are playing outside. Two of the children are playing outside and somehow end up in a park about 2 miles away.
In the middle of a lake?
Yeah. One is in the lake and he rescues her by telling her to pretend to be a snail, which I thought was pretty fun. The only bit I didn't like, actually, was when he kept going, so that was totally tubular, dude, and stuff like that off the TV.
He was learning black
I know, but that's
language.
going to date this, isn't it?
It's so Encino, man. It's
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser being taught by Paulie Shaw. The lingo of the time. Yeah, birdie.
That bit sort of annoying because like, oh, you're dating this. If you didn't, it could be a timeless film, but you've literally timestamped it at 2019.
2019. Well, they literally timestamped it in the first 5 minutes.
Yes. But yeah, and it's fine. He eventually he gives this thing. He learns that charity is begins at home and all his thing, and then he realizes that he loves her. They have a kiss under the mistletoe, and
that was the thing. That was the link that was to send him back. He found true love.
Yes, he realised that the reason that to become a true medieval knight is not raping and pillaging and invading other people's countries. It's to kiss a lovely lady.
I was really surprised when they said that in the film. When Vanessa Hudgens said, "Don't be raping and pillaging, otherwise you'd never go back."
Knights lived by a code of honour. You're thinking of other things. You're thinking of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
I'm certainly not.
Where they bring the Celts
Ryan.
in. Yeah. Robin of Locksley, gonna cut your heart out with a spoon. Sorry.
They had a kiss. He got sent back. No one actually believed that he was a knight.
She did.
She did it towards the end, but no one else.
She did when he vanished in front of her in a puff of smoke.
Yeah. Even then, she was like, Cole? It's like, you've just seen him evaporate, mate. Also, his name was Sir Cole, and I kept thinking Circle every time he said it.
I thought that's what they said originally. Circle.
His name's Circle. Oh, that's strange. Is he a big load of flats in Salford? Yeah, he goes back. He's like, "Oh, I'm not happy." He goes to see his brother. His brother's like, "You do you, mate. Go find her."
Plus, if you bugger off, then he gets to become king. So yeah.
He's not going to be king. He's just knighting. Just his knighting ceremony. But they do
more
this thing about
pillaging for him.
They do this thing about carrying people in your heart. Because when her mum died, he says, "Well, as long as she's in your heart, she'll always be with you and stuff." And I'm like, "This is nice. This is like a good Christmas thing." He goes back into the forest with his horse Sherwin and just starts screaming "Old Crone." And again, I'm like, I wish she'd have just popped out and gone, "My name's Margaret."
It did make me laugh this bit because she did just kind of pop out behind a tree, like look for
tree, mate.
What the fuck do you want?
She lives in that tree like the
I'm having a
Keebler
shit here.
elves.
Leave me alone.
If a crone shits in the woods, does a circle make a square? And she's like, "Oh, you've learned your lesson. Bye." Sends him back to the future. It's Christmas morning. For some reason, this kid's got a puppy, and no one knows where the puppy came from. Christmas magic.
Yeah, Christmas magic. Kelsey Grammer's been back.
Also, everyone has about 19 hot chocolates on the go at any one point in this film. It's like Town of Diabetes.
Professor Hudgens' sister gives Sir Cole a carafe of hot chocolate.
Yeah, as that happened, because she goes, "Oh, it's mead," and I was like, "That's some funky looking mead." But as Anthony pointed out, it's hot chocolate. That's what he keeps calling mead. Isn't it?
Throughout the film, yeah.
They go to this fucking Christmas market again, because again, 3 locations. And the little girl's like, "Oh, where's Cole? Is he not showing up?" And she's like, "No, he had to go back." And the dad's like, "Yeah, he had a business trip like me." And I'm like, "It's not about you."
He appeared like once.
Mr. not appearing in this film. Yeah. And then Cole appears in his full gear and he's like, "Yeah, I love you.
And I brought my horse.
Do you want to get on my horse?"
What are they going to do with a horse?
Stabling fees alone will cripple them. Yeah.
I was going to say, you're taking a horse from the 1400s. Modern diseases are going to decimate that horse in days.
Well, to be fair, he would be dead as well because of modern diseases. Or he'd be giving people. I mean, I don't want to get into it, but also he would be speaking some sort of version of medieval English. So he's no way to be able to communicate with each other. It wouldn't be all privy and nonsense.
He learnt via the TV box.
Even before when he does the oral accent. Like,
yeah.
Also, he says he would get an orange at Christmas. Oranges weren't introduced to Britain until, I don't know, about 1700. I'm just saying.
You're just knocking your points down minute by minute.
I really like this. Even though, because it's dumb. It's a dumb, good Christmas romantic comedy film that has genuinely funny bits in it, genuinely touching moments in it, and it's genuinely lovely.
Is it genuinely?
Genuinely. Also, as they're riding off, someone goes, "How romantic!" very loudly in the background.
Just in case you missed it.
He just says, "Get on here, love," and they ride off into the sunset.
He says, "Do you want to ride?" And I was like, yeah. And yeah, then it ends. Then we get a mid-credit sequence, though.
Oh, do it?
Yeah. His brother comes out after being crowned, and the old crone approaches him and goes, "Oh,
do you want to be in the sequel?
Brave Sir Thingy, brave Sir Terry. Could you help an old crone such as me?" And he goes, "Of course, I'm a knight. It's what we do, love." And she hands him a glowing red medallion. So I'm assuming he's going into hell. I don't know. I'm assuming it's setting up for the sequel, but he's
going to the 1970s where he goes to Studio 60 on the Suns. goes disco
he's
dancing.
going to the set of Gilmore Girls. Yeah. And then it ends there. So I think it did set it up for a sequel, but
I would imagine that this is a COVID casualty. Since it's a 2019 Christmas film, I get the feeling that maybe next Christmas we'll get another one if the Princess Switches wraps up by then.
She produces all these films, old Vanessa Hudgens. So.
Yeah. Why not?
I really like this.
Go on, out of 10, please.
8.5.
Bloody hell, fire. I think that beats KFC.
I stand by it. It's a good film. It's an hour and a half. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It moves along at a fair old lick. There's no wasted motion in there. I can't fault it. I really can't. For a Netflix original Hallmark trash film, it hits all the beats and it sort of breaks out of that mold a little bit as well.
I'm going 7.5.
You're only one below me.
I know, but I'm nowhere near.
KFC.
It gets one of my top scorers, to be fair.
Well, here we go, Craig now. 2.
Fucking destroyer of dreams here. No, I'm going with a 7.1.
7.1, which puts it at an average of 7.7.
Christmas orange / Satsuma at a halfpenny.
Puts it 3rd overall. Can you guess what the top 2 are?
Colonel Sanders, you just said.
Yep, Recipe for Seduction.
Ooh, what was the other one?
If I tell you that Craig's got the DVD.
Under the Christmas table.
Really?
Under the Christmas table got 7.9.
I need to watch
mainly due to Craig's 8.6. I'll be honest with you.
Damn straight.
Craig juicing the stats again.
Well, I was going to say, you put Leah Thompson in. It's an instant extra 2 points.
Yeah. I've got a fun fact about this film.
Ooh.
Go ahead.
To get the chemistry between the leads, they were supposed to go away together for a week of bonding, but Vanessa Hudgens couldn't make it, so it was just the bloke and his horse. So that's fun, isn't it? That's a fun thing.
That's good.
He's like, Jeff, I get to spend a week with Vanessa Hudgens. Maybe if I try hard enough, she'll let me have a look.
Instead, he's on a horse ranch in Calgary.
Yeah, just him and a horse fucking about. So that's nice, isn't it? Yeah, again, this is every year in my house.
Yeah, it's definitely rotational. If only because when it comes to Netflix original films, it is sort of the cream above the shit.
If not rotational, then it'll be. It's one of those where if and when the sequels come out, you will go and watch it.
Oh yeah.
When they do come
Again,
out.
it's part of the MCU.
Nah. Yeah. I said this and Christmas Prince are like vying for like top of that pile.
It's made me want to watch the Switches one.
Yeah, the Switches are fun. I quite like the Christmas.
Half Christmas if they're still on.
Yeah, they're always on the Netflix. Yeah, Netflix originals they're always on.
But yeah, that's half Christmas taken care of then, isn't it?
Sorted. Right.
In conclusion, that was day number 15 of our Advent, A Night Before Christmas. Anything to add?
The night with a K, not a N.
Oh, I didn't even get that. Well done.
I reckon they started with that and went backwards.
Was that a genuine response from Craig or not?
Let's say yes.
No, sorry then.
For
Come back tomorrow for day
purposes.
number 16, which we can't wait.
Ooh.
Bye. Most handsomest men on the Burns board.